What's up you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So thank you for clicking on this video and tuning in, and I'm going to be talking about various different topics, whether it be nutrition, whether it be training. I'm going to be talking about macros, everything that comes with having a large social media following, and I'm also going to be talking about my personal life and a lot of other things. So with that said, I want to get into this as quickly as possible. I'm going to be answering the questions as kind of an overlay to some training footage, just so that it's a bit more interesting for you guys, because, you know, I don't want to bore you with just me sitting here in my uni room like, what up? And actually somebody asked me what course do I study at university. I study business administration at the University of Bath in England. So let's start the training footage and the questions. Holly Davidge said, do you track your body fat percentage, and what is the most accurate way to do so? So personally, no, I do not track my body fat percentage. This is because using calipers and using that machine that you stand on in the gym and using the thing like the body tracks, all those things are not accurate. This is the problem, because you'll get a wrong idea. One time I was in the gym and I did my body fat percentage on the machine thing before I trained, and it was like 20% or something, and then I did it again after I trained and it had gone over double to about 44% or something ridiculous like that. These machines aren't accurate. They basically use the amount of water in your body and how hard you're squeezing the handle things to predict your body fat percentage. So yeah, that's not an accurate way. The most accurate way is a DEXA scan, but these are incredibly expensive. So if I was to do another prep, then I would get my body fat percentage at the beginning of the prep and at the end of the prep, but that's not something that is affordable for me right now. The best way to determine your body fat percentage and get a rough idea of whether you're losing or gaining body fat, to be honest, it's just progress pictures. I really advise taking progress pictures. Do not rely on the scale. Progress pictures are the way forward. Take your progress pictures before you've eaten and before you've had any water or anything, and do them at the same time each time you take them. Vic CC said, what are your favourite subjects in school and why? At school I absolutely loved politics. I loved politics so much. I just find politics really interesting. I was extremely into it. I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but when it was the election 2 years ago when I was 18, I actually ran in the election for because I'm a member of a political party, and basically one day I was doing some campaigning and they said, do you want to run in the election? And I was like, what, are you serious? And they were like, yeah, you can run in the election for like, it was just the local election, it was nothing big. And so yeah, in the election I got around 1,000 votes or something. I never did any campaigning for my name or anything, but yeah, that was funny. Playtime Bieber said, what keeps you motivated? And I really like this question because I get it really often about how do I stay motivated for the gym and how do I stay motivated to eat well and hit my macros and stuff. And the truth is, guys, I'm not always motivated to go to the gym. Some days I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, I really can't be bothered. But I am so passionate about it and I love it so much. Being in this fitness lifestyle has brought me so much. So when I first was into it, I would have to motivate myself. I would have to gain extrinsic motivation. So I'd have to watch, for example, I would always Google like motivational videos on YouTube and things like that, because I needed motivation to get myself into the gym. But now I love it so much because I see how much it has brought to my life. I see not only the physical change that it has brought to my life, but also the mental change. I am such a stronger person now through being in this fitness lifestyle and through going to the gym when I don't want to go. But now it's not even that anymore. I know that, oh, there'll be sometimes days where, oh, I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered to go to the gym. But it's just because I'm maybe feeling tired or something. And then when I do get to the gym, I am having such a good time because I genuinely am so in love with training. And I think the reason why I love training so much is because I see all the positives that it's brought to my life. And I see how much it's changed me as a person for the better. And I see, yeah, it's brought so much to my life. And just sometimes when I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered to go, then I have to kind of think to myself, Lauren, imagine if you said that every time you didn't want to go to the gym and you never went. Your life would still be back where it was, back where you were sad, back where you hated your body, back where you hated yourself, back where you were in a really dark place. So I guess for me, that's what keeps me motivated. I'd love to hear what keeps you guys motivated. please comment below, and also comment below if you struggle with motivation, just because I'm really interested in hearing whether if you guys struggle with that or if you have something that keeps you guys going. Stabigale up. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering these names, guys. Sometimes usernames are kind of hard to say. But this is a really, really great question. It says, advice, guidance and opinion on fitness bloggers / YouTubers bringing out guides. How do you know how to make the right purchase without buying 10 from 10 different people? So I really, really like this question because it does seem at the moment that every single person is bringing out a guide of some sort, whether they have qualifications or not. And so I just think it is down to the consumer. In this situation, anyone can bring out a guide legally, so it seems. In this situation, the consumer needs to educate themselves. The consumer needs to find out, does this person have qualifications? The consumer also needs to find out, has this person, got reasonable experience, not just experience from being able to, help themselves? Have they helped people in the past before? Has this person been doing everything evidence-based? So you guys know that for me, evidence-based is such an important thing. That's why I work with my coaches, Shredded by Science. Because if I ever have any doubts about anything, and I've googled it to try find the answers in scientific research papers, if I can't find any answers or if I'm still a little bit confused about something, I will go to Lawrence, my coach, and I will ask him, okay, can you clarify this situation for me and help me with this? Because I don't want to ever tell you guys incorrect information. I don't want to, put your lives at risk. The fitness industry is a health industry. It's so important that that everything is correct. And yeah, I've seen some crazy things on Instagram before, some crazy videos as well. And I've also seen people in the gym who obviously are watching someone on Instagram doing some ridiculous glute workout and then copying it in the gym, and it's just oh my god, this is gonna get you absolutely nowhere. It does my head in. I just want to say to these people, I can help you so much, but yeah. But anyway, with this question being said, you guys may want to stay tuned for something that I'm releasing soon. #Team Science. I was getting a lot of questions about cellulite and abs and stuff like that, so I have a feeling I'm going to do an entire video on that. If you guys want that, comment below, let me know. I was also getting so many questions about carbs, macros, all that type of thing, so I just want to clarify all this for you guys. So Nikkei Kotse said, how do you manage to eat so many carbs and not gain weight? I've slowly increased my carbs and I'm gaining weight. What am I doing wrong? So number one, you need to tell me, are you tracking correctly? Because 99% of the time, people aren't accurately inputting their calorie intake. So are you weighing your rice cooked when you're supposed to be weighing it raw? That is a massive thing. Are you even weighing your food at all? Are you weighing your body weight at the same time each time? Before you ever increase your carbs, were you literally eating no carbs? Because if you were eating literally no carbs and then you do start eating some carbs, then you will have a big jump in scale weight straight away. But this is only water weight, just because your body isn't used to carbs. This can also happen if you're someone that has been seriously under eating on carbs, because yeah, your body's just not used to the carbs. And also you need to ask yourself, have I increased my carbs suddenly by 100 grams? If so, then that might be a bit of a problem for someone that is not used to too many carbs. With regards to macros and everything, guys, you do need to remember what your goal is. So if your goal is trying to gain muscle and stuff and your body weight is going up, you really just need to try and think of this number as a figure and not as something that you're emotionally attached to. You need to literally distance yourself away from being emotionally attached to that scale weight. You need to think, in the long term, this is going to be helping me gain muscle. And as long as your body weight isn't going up by 10 pounds a week, okay, that was a bad example, by 4 pounds a week, then you're fine. But yeah, you said, I've slowly increased my carbs and I'm gaining weight. What am I doing wrong? To be honest, maybe you're just increasing your carbs too quickly. What's going on in other areas of your life? Are you stressed? There are so many factors. It's hard to know for individual people, but if you're tracking accurately, then you shouldn't be having too many issues. But I would genuinely say the number one thing is about accuracy of tracking macros. There have been so many studies in the past that show that people do not track their macronutrient intake correctly. Okay, so Sarah Victoria Fit said, Are you dating anyone? Have you had a long-term relationship and how long? Have you ever been in love? Do you want kids in the future? So 1, I'm not dating anyone. I'm sorry for you guys who think that I'm going out with Tom. It's not a thing. Have you had a long-term relationship and how long? I have never had a long-term relationship. I'm single for life, guys. Have I ever been in love? No. Do you want kids in the future? Yes, I do want kids. I want 2. I want 1 boy and 1 girl. I don't know what I want to call them though. I like the name Oscar, but that was my first cat's name, so I don't know if that's a bit weird. Kiss, marry, or push off a cliff. And then here are the 3 people I get to choose. Christian Guzman, Steve Cook, and Max Tuning. Alright, so kiss, Steve Cook. Marry, Christian Guzman, and push off a cliff, Max Tuning. I'm sorry, but that was too easy. I'm joking. I love you, Max. Mwah. Fasted list cardio versus normal HIIT cardio. Guys, doing fasted list cardio is no better than doing it when you've eaten. There's absolutely no benefit. So list is low intensity steady state, HIIT is high intensity interval training. Do it, yeah, so literally no difference. It doesn't matter whether you want to do low intensity or high intensity. I personally prefer doing either when I've eaten. Actually, no, I don't actually, because I hate doing it. But yeah, so if you're going to be doing low intensity, the only difference when doing it fasted or doing it after you've eaten is if you like to do it fasted, if it's convenient for you, and if it's feels good for you, then do it fasted in the morning, but it's not going to help you burn extra fat. It's just not. That's scientifically incorrect. Okay, so the last question is from Beth Sanders 98, the girl who I met in Bali. She is such a sweet girl. I love her so much. Love you, Beth. Want to meet you again soon. She said, do you ever wish you didn't have such a big social media following? Do you have ways of coping with the pressure of it, or pressure and anxiety in general? So you guys may or may not know, but I have suffered really severely from anxiety in the past. I've been on medication for it and stuff, but that's another story. So there are times, yeah, where I do wish that I didn't have such a large social media following. It can get incredibly stressful, overwhelming, and I had to make my Snapchat, I had to make it so that you guys can't send me messages, just because it was giving me such bad anxiety, and I was having panic attacks from it, just because sometimes when you get so many questions and sometimes not very nice stuff on there, it can be very just frustrating. So yeah, and I know that obviously people asking questions don't mean it in a bad way or anything, but when you've put out the content on somewhere where you've already said it so many times, it can be very frustrating, because people obviously aren't reading the information that you're putting out there for free, which I understand, because not everyone has the time to do all that. I totally get it, but God, sometimes I just don't understand why people can't Google things. And I know that sounds so rude, but I don't know. This is just for me and myself, just because the reason why I was able to learn everything that I've learned is because I've just Googled stuff. But I guess I am naturally quite able to understand things. So I try to make it so that things which I can understand, I make it so that people that may not be able to understand can understand, if that makes sense. But yeah, sometimes it can just be very overwhelming having all this stuff bombarding you constantly. I've turned off all my notifications and everything, and I guess the way that I cope with it is just not reading it sometimes. I just have to kind of go totally away from my Instagram, particularly my Instagram really, because that's where the one which is the most busiest for me. And so I'll have to maybe just not read the comments for a day or two, and then I'll reply to the because I really like replying to you guys. So this is my issue. I love replying, but then also it can get very overwhelming. So yeah, it is hard sometimes, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I love what I do so much. I am so grateful for you guys and all your comments. I love your comments so much. The nice comments are, I guess, what help me so much, and I don't get upset by negative comments whatsoever. I do not even care, to be honest. I find them quite funny really, and amusing that these people have just nothing better to do with their time. But yeah, I mean, all the nice comments just make up for absolutely everything, and meeting you guys in person is just the icing on the cake. Honestly, I love it so much. So yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to any job, really. I guess you can think about it as a job. And so some jobs are 24/7, like mine and, well, my social media, and like if you have your own business, and that's something that's, I guess, the price you have to pay for putting your life out there and for maybe owning your own business or something. So yeah, that's that really, and I love it. Honestly, I do. I love this whole thing. It's strange, magical, and bizarre, but yeah. So guys, that is gonna wrap up this Q&A. I hope you've liked that, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing my training. So I'm training 4 days a week, and each session is a full body session, and then on 2 of my rest days I do 20 minutes of cardio. Each time I do low intensity cardio. It's very, very, very low intensity because I do not want it to impact my recovery. So guys, give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, get using the hashtag StrengthFood. We have over 25,000 posts now. How insane is that? Stay tuned for the next video. Love you guys. Mwah.